Good morning, beautiful people from Walking Tall. I'm here with my friends, the trees, the Great Mother. So today I wanted to pull another card from the Vision Quest Tarot. And today the card that I pulled is Two of Earth. Change. So for the natives, indigenous cultures, in the medicine wheel, Earth is represented by the west direction. West direction is also a placement. If we think about the seasons, it is autumn, okay? It is, if we think about cycle of life, everything moves in a circle. Nature never hurries, yet everything is accomplished. And the West is representative of maturity, adulthood, great wisdom. Black is also represented in the West. Now, what is change? What is change? Change is the only constant in the universe. It is the only thing that we can predict with certainty. Change. Western medicine, science will tell us that we can predict anything. We can calculate anything if we have the right information. But the wisdom of the Great Mother, the wisdom of the West, the wisdom represented by the infinity symbol 8, represented in this card, is that man is not in charge. The Great Mother is. Nature. Everything follows a natural cycle in life. We have balance here. So the idea is non-attachment. And the Buddhist practice non-attachment. It is, I am going to observe what is happening in my surroundings. I'm going to observe and I'm going to accept. You can also think about the 12-step program. I'm going to acknowledge, accept my reality, accept that change is the only constant. And then from there, I do have a choice. And my choice is, how am I going to respond to this change that I am observing without attaching myself to an outcome, a specific outcome, without attaching myself to how it must be? That's ego, and it's a lower vibration. But the art of non-attachment is, I recognize and I honor the natural rhythm of the universe. The natural rhythm is balance. The natural rhythm is infinity, the figure 8. It is complete harmony of the masculine, represented by the sun, and the feminine, represented by the moon. We can also think about biology. In biology, everything starts from one, from the beginning, from one, and from there, the cell brilliantly and by divine design splits and replicates itself over and over and over again until the seed, which is the one beginning point, until the seed begins to sprout. Now, when the seed germinates and it connects, becomes one with the soil, it is in darkness. It is the subconscious. It is the deep recesses of the mind and the psyche. It is what is happening underneath the earth to get to this beautiful squash or gourd here. What must happen? The elements. We must go through 4 cycles of seasons. There must be the proper rain and conditions for the seed to sprout. Now, once the seed is planted, okay, we can think about manifesting and creative vision and insight. Seeds come to us when we are in our natural surroundings, when we are walking barefoot, when we are sitting by water, when we are looking up at the stars, when we don't have our phones in our hands in front of us. We can, seeds will come into our mind, and the divine will put these seeds in our heart. And before we came out of our mother's womb, we were a seed. We were changing. So when we think about change, we think about accepting and allowing. The Buddhist principle, right? The yogis. This is also in the West of the medicine wheel placement of the sage, of one who has experienced life, has experienced both failure, loss, disappointment, and achievements and happiness and bliss. And the yogi says, the sage says, I recognize all these pieces of myself, and I am going to bring them into balance within myself. These are energies, okay? And everything is a perspective. How, when we change our perspective, we change our mind, we change our thoughts, we change our circumstances and our experience. Vines are very significant right now, blue and yellow, green, 8, even roses. You can see the blossoms starting to come up off of that vine there. Now, if there are resistance anywhere in this natural order, this natural design that happens on its own, if there's any resistance, which is, I don't like this change, or I'm going to try to stop this change, or I'm going to disassociate and intoxicate myself because I don't like this change. If we energetically block what is naturally trying to sprout, what is naturally trying to die, that happens, right? When we get in the medicine wheel to the north, to the color white, we get to a dying period where everything has to go back into the earth to come forth again. And so the message coming down from the ancestors is, what is change? What changes are trying to sprout in your life? What rotten fruit is trying to fall away? We don't stop rotten fruit from falling from the tree. We just allow it to fall. The seeds will fall where they will. How are you in balance with your masculine and feminine energies? Now, this is the natural way. This is the way of nature of the Great Mother, is I am in harmony as a divine being having a human experience. I am in harmony with my masculine energy, my feminine energy, and I am aware of when either energy is out of balance. Allowing a transformation. The number 17 is also significant. June 17th, 555, 2s, 222, 2222, okay? Now I'm going to read to you from the Vision Quest Tarot book. Can you see this? 2 of Earth. Change. In essence, allowing a transformation, attunement of forces, flowing along with life, non-attachment, easily letting go, renouncing the need to complicate. I accept these changes that want to happen in my life. I accept naturally. that when I surrender and flow like water, water is very significant here. Water, water, water. Go to water is a native saying. It is, if you're in a period of anxiety, if you are struggling with trying to bring your business online or a new product online, go to water. Just sit by the water. Scientists have proven, research shows that just 20 minutes and passively watching the water, just watch the water. The native wisdom is that the waves, which is a vibration and a frequency of the water, will tune us naturally. And through the water, the spirit guides in the spiritual realm can communicate with us because we are water pretty much. I mean, this is just a hologram because I'm vibrating so fast that I look like I'm a physical piece of meat. Well, I do have some meat, but we're 80% water, mostly water. So is the ocean, so is the lake, is water, water, water. Go to water. The inner message. Once you are in harmony with yourself, life's constant changes are experienced as perfection in action. Then what is old naturally gives way to the new, and without unnecessary struggle. What wants to sprout? Worries about your material security diminish as well. If you don't willfully interfere, the acceptance of changes becomes effortless and thrilling. The only thing that we can change is how we perceive the change. The only thing that we can control is how we respond to life, how we respond to change. If you plant squash hoping to get apples and then you get squash, what are you going to do? You're going to pick the squash, you're going to go sell the squash at the market and buy yourself some apples. So the outward manifestation, every change, every passing, every turnaround in life potentially strengthens your self-confidence. Both success and failure are great teachers. Today you're receiving the red carpet treatment. Tomorrow someone else will. Not to identify too strongly with either experience is genuine wisdom, which is I recognize and respect the cyclical wave of life, which is one wave will come. It may be huge, it may be 20 feet tall, but right behind it is another wave. The wind is going to change. The clouds are going to blow over. It may rain and storm. If you sit long enough, just like the sun will always rise the sun will rise in the east and set in the west. We know this. So if we can look to the elements for peace of mind and saying, gosh, if I know that the sun is going to rise and set and the moon's going to come out, I know I'm going to be okay with whatever wave I am surfing. So genuine wisdom is earned by remaining alert, consciously vigilant, introspection, accepting. What is my role? How am I participating? How am I not participating? What stories am I playing out? Once you see through the game, you're free of it. Once you see through the game, you are free of it. Suffering arises when I say, I don't want to accept this change. I'm not going to accept what is happening in my life. That's suffering. I'm not going to accept that my job is stealing my soul, or that I'm not being recognized for my worth, or that I'm not using my gifts in my job. That's suffering. Because if you know and you see and you recognize what your situation is, which is acceptance, then you can put yourself in a position to make a new choice and to change. We are magicians of change as well. When we connect with the elements, we can manifest change. We can't control the outcome, but we can set it in motion by saying, I'm not powerless. I am in control of my life because I control, what is the one thing I can control? How I choose to respond to change, how I choose to respond to life. So 2 of Earth. All energy is constantly spiraling upwards. Okay? It wants to rise. Energy naturally wants to rise, to come up, to be freed, right? This is the natural way to come up and to be free. Big change is coming in the collective through beings of the light from other galaxies. There's big change coming. June 17th, 2024. July 4th, 2024. Be mindful of these dates. Be mindful of your energy, people, places, things. Be mindful of borders. Be mindful of the energy grid. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to book a one-on-one session, the link is in my bio on Instagram. I offer private channeled spirit readings. I also offer Reiki empowerment coaching. I have a whole offering available to you all. So visit the link in my bio. Be mindful. Change is coming. Big change. It'll never be the same. And again, here's something to think about, right? Perhaps it's not about trying to fix what's broken. Broken political systems, broken ideas of leadership, broken school systems, broken religious institutions and how we gather to celebrate our own divinity. Perhaps it's not about fixing broken societies. Perhaps now is the time we start creating new systems, new schools, new churches, new types of churches. Now is a time for change. We have the power as humanity, not our political leaders. Great Mother Earth is saying it is time for change, people. What is your role in the new earth? It's time to put it in action. It's time to speak out. There's no savior coming to save us. We are the saviors. We are. We do it without the people in power because they will not be in power much longer. Let's get the systems going. I love y'all so much. Have a blessed, beautiful day. Stay divine. Stay you. Divine by design.